Okay, so today we will see the formulation of LPP. So this is the given problem. So first I am going to read the problem. So listen carefully. A firm produces three types of products. These products are processed on three different machines. The time required to manufacture 1 unit of each of the three products and daily capacity of three machine is given in the table below. So you can see here, product 1 is processed on machine M1 for 2 minutes, on machine M2 for 4 minutes and machine M3 for 2 minutes. Product 2 is processed on M1 for 3 minutes, and on M2 there is no any processing, and on M3 it is going to process for 5 minutes. Product 3 is processed on M1 for 2 minutes and product 3 is processed on M2 for 3 minutes. And here the machine capacity, or even you can say machine availability, is given per day. Machine M1 is available for 440 minutes per day, M2 is available for 470 minutes per day, and M3 is available for 430 minutes per day. So what we have to do here, it is required to determine the daily number of units to be manufactured for each product. So how many number of product 1, product 2 and product 3 to be produced, so that ultimately the profit is going to be maximized. By selling each product, the amount of profit whatever he is going to get, it is given here. The profit per unit of product 1, 2, 3 is rupees 4, rupees 3 and rupees 6 respectively. So what we have to do here, formulate the mathematical model to maximize the daily profit. So what we have to do here we have to develop a mathematical problem. So this is the real life problem. So we are going to convert this into mathematical model, which is what? Formulation of linear programming model. So as we have already discussed, so there are 4 steps in formulation of LPP. So first we have to decide the decision variable here. So what is the decision variable here? The number of units of product 1, product 2 and product 3 to be produced. So I am going to write here. So step number 1 is what? Decision variables. So what are the decision variables here? Number of units of product 1, product 2 and product 3 to be produced. So what I am going to say, let x1, x2, x3 to be let x1, x2 and x3 are the number of units of product 1, product 2 and product 3 to be produced. So first we have decided the decision variables. So here number of units of product 1, product 2, product 3 to be produced are going to be the decision variables. So we have named them as x1, x2 and x3. So this is the first step. So now we will go for step number 2. Step number 2 is what? Writing objective function. So step number 2 is writing objective function. So what is the objective function here? So you can read the last sentence here. Objective function is given. Formulate the mathematical model to maximize the daily profit. So here objective function of this problem is to maximize the profit. So only 2 cases are possible for objective function, either minimization of cost or maximization of the profit. As far as this problem is concerned, here the objective is to maximize the profit. So now I am going to write the objective function. So Z max, or even you can say Z maximize. Z max is equal to, so what equation I am going to write? So how the company is going to get profit? By selling the number of units of product 1, product 2 and product 3 in the market. So how, when the company is going to get profit, how exactly you are going to calculate the profit? Number of units of product sold multiplied by price per unit. So Z max is equal to how the company is going to get profit here after selling product 1, product 2, product 3 into the market. So what is the profit the company is going to get after selling product 1? Rupees 4, rupees 3 for selling product 2 and rupees 6 for selling product 3. So then objective function can be written as, so 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 6x3. So this is the objective function. So this is the total profit the company is going to get after selling each product, means product 1, product 2, product 3. This is profit, rupees 4 profit after selling 1 unit of product 1 into number of units of product 1. So similarly product 2 and product 3. So this is the objective function. Now step number 2 is over. So how this objective function we have to achieve? By remaining within constraint. So within available limitations we have to maximize the profit. So what is the limitation here? So here you can see the machine capacity is limitation here. Machine M1 is only available for 440 minutes, M2 is available for only 470 minutes and M3 is available for only 430 minutes. So this is the limitation of machine capacity. So within that capacity you have to produce maximum number of product 1, product 2 and product 3, and you have to maximize the profit. So now constraint equation, step number 3. Step number 3 we have to write constraint equation. So what is the constraint here? So here you can see the constraint equation. Machine capacity is the constraint. So you can see product 1 is going to pass through M1 for 2 minutes, M2 for 4 minutes and M3 for 2 minutes. Product 2 is going to pass through M1 for 3 minutes, M3 for 5 minutes. Product 3 is going to pass through M1 for 2 minutes and M2 for 3 minutes. Now we have to write constraint. Machine availability is constraint. So that's why we are going to write constraint equation for M2, M1, M2 and M3. So what are the constraint equation? First you can see here product 1, 2, number of units of product 1 2x1 plus product 2 3x2 plus 2x3. So here you can see here machine capacity, it is the limitation, maximum it is available for only 440 minutes. Then what is the constraint? Whether greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So it is the maximum available for 440 minutes, maximum up to 440 minutes, lesser than that, not more than that. So that's why constraint is going to be lesser than or equal to. So lesser than or equal to 440. Similarly I am going to write constraint equation for M2. How it can be written? 4x1, here you can say x1 is the number of product 1 to be produced, x2 is the number of units of product 2 are going to be produced, x3 is the number of units of product 3 are going to be produced. So just multiplication I am doing. So 4x1, so product 2 is not going to pass through M2 and product 3 is going to pass through M3. So here equation is 4x1 plus 3x3 lesser than or equal to 470. So what I can write? 4x1 plus 3x3. 4x1 plus 3x3 lesser than or equal to 470. Similarly, I am going to write constraint equation for M3. What is the constraint equation here? 2x1 plus 5x2 lesser than or equal to 430. 2x1 plus 5x2 lesser than or equal to 430. So this is the constraint equation. Now step number 3 is over. Now step 4 is, what is the step number 4? Non-negativity constraint. So what do you mean by non-negativity constraint? So what are x1, x2 and x3 here? Number of units of product 1 and product 2 and product 3 are to be produced. Those cannot be negative. So that's why those are the physical products. So we have to produce them. So that's why product 1, product 2 and product 3 are going to be positive always. They cannot be negative. So that's why non-negativity constraint is going to be x1, x2 and x3 greater than or equal to 0. So this is the non-negativity constraint. So this is what the formulation of LPP. I hope you understood well.